Well, that was depressing, wasn't it? Pakistan versus India, the T20 World Cup, Premadasa Stadium, Colombo. Will they? Won't they? Boycott. Boycott cancelled. A huge dramatic build-up, a massive crowd, and by the end of it, emotional damage. Let's deal with the headline first. India 175 for 7. Pakistan 114 all out. India won by 61 runs. This is now India's 8th win against Pakistan in T20 World Cups, with Pakistan as only win coming back in 2021. It feels like a distant memory. So yes, this World Cup record remains deeply spiritually annoying. Now, let's talk about how this actually happened, because the margin of defeat doesn't tell you the full story. The pitch at the Premadasa was slow, tacky, clearly holding in the surface. Pakistan won the toss and bowled and leaned hard into spin. How hard? Pakistan bowled 18 overs of spin out of 20. That's not strategy. That's a cry for help. And to be fair, it sort of made sense. The pitch was gripping, the ball was stopping, and the seamers were basically getting tonked. Poor Shaheen Afridi, but we'll talk about him in a bit. Salman Ali Agha even opened the bowling, which is a massive sign that the pitch is misbehaving. And it worked immediately, actually. It felt like a masterstroke at the time. Abhishek Sharma, 2 ducks in this World Cup. Out first over, 1 run off the first 5 balls of the innings. At that point, Pakistan were thinking, this is our night. This pitch is slow, the spin is working. We've cracked the code. And then Kishan turned up and said, I don't care about your code. Kishan's 77 of 40 is one of those innings that looks even more ridiculous when you put it next to the rest of the scorecard. The rest of India's innings, including extras, scored 98 of 80 balls. So Kishan was not just better than Pakistan's bowling, he was better than the conditions, he was better than the rest of his own team. He was batting like the pitch was from a completely different match. He hit Shaheen into the surface and pulled him for 6, and he hit Agha over mid-on against the turn. He swept Abrar Ahmed for 6 first ball. He took Shadab Khan for 17 in an over. He just dominated. At one point, by the time he was dismissed, he'd scored 77 of India's first 88 runs. That's not carrying an innings, that's Ubering it. India ended on 175 for 7, which on that surface was at least 30 above par. And Pakistan knew it. You could see it in the body language. And then came the chase. Well, before the chase, they kind of huddled together. They looked like they had belief. But really what was coming was compensation. Hardik Pandya and Jasprit Bumrah basically ended the contest in the first 2 overs. 3 wickets, pressure immediately, no room, no freebies. By 4.5 overs, Pakistan were 34 for 4. Sahibzada Farhan gets himself a duck. Saim Ayub gone. Salman Ali Agha gone. Babar Azam missed a slog sweep and was out. That's the top order. That's the spine. That's the part of the team that's meant to score most of the runs. They were all gone for single figures. 1, 2, 3, 4, all gone for single figure scores. Usman Khan, he tried. 44 of 34 balls. He actually played quite nicely. He hit Hardik Pandya for 6. He took 27 off 15 from Akshar Patel with some really clean inside-out shots. But this was one of those innings that looks good in isolation and tragic in context, because when you're chasing 176 and your top scorer is 44, you're not chasing anymore, you're just tidying up. India's bowling was clinical mostly. Hardik Pandya 2 for 16, Bumrah 2 for 17, Varun Chakravarti 2 for 17, Akshar Patel 2 for 29. They didn't do anything flashy, they just squeezed. No driving length, no pace on the ball, no room to free your arms. Pakistan were bowled out for 114 in 18 overs. India's biggest T20I win over Pakistan ever. And the frustrating part, Pakistan didn't actually bowl badly for most of the game. They just ran into one of those innings you can't plan for. If Kishan makes 30 instead of 77, we're having a different conversation. If one of those early wickets falls in the power play, the game tightens. If Shaheen Afridi had a little bit better form, if he was finding his length, finding the kind of bowling that made him unplayable at one point, maybe it's a different game. But at this level, if doesn't win you matches. So where does this leave Pakistan? Out of this match, bruised, outplayed, but not hopeless. The bowling plan wasn't stupid. The pitch really was slow. The spin approach was logical. It just ran into a player who played a once-in-a-lifetime tournament innings. And for India, this was a statement win. They're into the Super 8s. They've now beaten Pakistan 8 times in T20 World Cups, and they did it without Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli anywhere near the squad, which is annoying for entirely different reasons. So yeah, If you're Pakistani, today hurt. It was very painful. If you're Indian, today was extremely enjoyable. And if you're neutral, you probably just enjoyed watching one bloke completely ignore the pitch. And cricket does that sometimes. Pakistan has a lot of improvement to do before they play their final group game against Namibia, which they now have to win to go through to the next stage of this competition. And if they can come through that, they might get another crack at India, but they're going to have to improve exponentially to come close to beating them. Because frankly, right now, India is the single best T20 team in the world. What did you think of that match? I was there on commentary at the Premadasa, and it felt good for about 50% of the game, and the rest of it was quite difficult to watch, if I'm very honest. But what did you make of it? What changes would you make ahead of that big game against Namibia? That's where we're at now. Pakistan has big games against Namibia. Yeah, it's a tough time, Pakistan fans. But either way, let me know your thoughts on the match in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel for more content. And hopefully I can give you a more upbeat video next time. But it's nearly 2 in the morning at the time of recording here in Sri Lanka. And yeah, we're going to Kandy tomorrow for Australia-Sri Lanka. Looking forward to that game. And let's see what Pakistan can pull out in their final group match against Namibia. Hopefully, it'll be a much improved performance and we'll be talking up their chances again. But one thing's for sure, there will be less enthusiasm and probably less hope the next time they're set onto the field against India. That's my thoughts. Look after yourselves, everybody.